Thanksgiving in the US is traditionally a time for family and food. American school children typically learn that the tradition dates back to the Pilgrims who helped establish Philmont Colony in 1620, in what is now Massachusetts. As the history goes, friendly Native Americans taught the struggling colonists how to survive in what the Europeans called the New World. Then everyone got together to celebrate with the feast in 1621. Thanksgiving 2022 would mark the 401 anniversary of the first American Thanksgiving, but in reality Thanksgiving feast predates Plymouth, and the peace celebrated as they was a tenuous. The real story behind the holidays is so dark. In fact, that some people are rethinking how they celebrate the holidays or whether they should at all. The Philmont Thanksgiving of 2021 wasn't the first. Sisters the Bakery Hundred in the West Virginia celebrated their arrival in the Thanksgiving as far back as 2019, according to National Geographic, but Washington reported the meal was probably little more than some oyster and ham threw together. Decades before that, Spanish citizens and members of the Seminole tribe broke bread in Florida with salted pork, garbanzo, beans, and maize. In 1565, according to the National Park Services. Our modern definition of Thanksgiving revolves around eating turkey, but was more of the occasion for religion observers in the past centuries. The Pilgrims would most likely consider their sober 1723 day of prayer the first actual Thanksgiving according to the history of Massachusetts blogs. Other pinpoint 1637 as true origin of Thanksgiving since the Massachusetts Bay Colony's governor John Winthrop declared that a day of celebrating colonial soldiers will head to slaughter hundreds of peccant men, women, and children in what is now mystically connected to Kut. Regardless, the population telling of the initial harvest festival and what lived in Thanksgiving to Abraham Lincoln. The enduring holiday was nearly erased from their collective memory what happened between the one pug and the English just one generation later. The Thanksgiving peace didn't last. Massasoit in the one paramount chief allied with the English settlers after Plymouth was established and fought with the newcomers again, the French, and the other local tribes, but the alliance became strained over time. As thousands more English colonists moved to plan out taking over more land, authorities asserted control over most aspects of the one life. According to the book History Contacts Indian People and Colonists in Today's Northern United States, a study published in the journal Quarterly Science Reviews estimated that the disease had reduced the New England indigenous population by 19% by 1620. The one point continued to die from what the colonists called the Indian fever, and no disease brought by early European settlers. By the time Massasoit's son, Metacomet, who was known in English as King Philip, inherited leadership relation had frayed, his men were executed from the murder of the punk interpreter and Christian convert John Sassamon, sparking King Philip's War. Wampanoag Howard responded with the raids, and the New England Confederation colonists declared war in 1675. The war was bloody and devastating. In an article published in the History Journal of Massachusetts, the Montclair State University professor Robert E. Curry Jr. said the death toll could have been up to 30% of the English population and half of Native Americans in the New English. Matt Comet has beheaded in this recordings happening and the colonist invalided his head on the spike to display for 25 years. The war was just one of a series of brutal but timid remembered early conflicts between Native American colonists in New England, New York, and Virginia. The holiday dark past has some people rethinking Thanksgiving. The focus on racial justice in USA has some people saying that's irrelevant in the meaning of the celebration of Thanksgiving is long overdue. Teachers, professors, and Native Americans told the New York Times in 2020 that they were rethinking the holiday that was marginalizing the U.S. violence and cruelty against Native Americans, giving this name like Thanksgiving and the Thanksgiving Massacre. And reflection Thanksgiving not new. According by the New York Post, the United American Indians of the New England have been publishing mourning or Thanksgiving for decades. Frank James and Akina, one pagan activist who helped establish a national day of mourning in 1917, called the One Pound Coming of the English cedars perhaps our biggest mistakes, the Washington Post reported. On the National Day of Mourning, Native Americans gathered in Plymouth, Massachusetts for a day of remembrance of the millions of indigenous people who were killed by European colonists. Prayers and speeches take place accompanied by beating drums before participants march through the Plymouth Historic District. Participants in the National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native people to survive today. The commemorate plaques at the Colossus Hills in the Plymouth says, in part, it is a day of remembering the spiritual connections as well as protection of the racism and the oppression which Native Americans continue to experience.